myself Raghav Jagga, a fifth year law student from University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, pursuing BCom LLP in taxation laws. For the month of July, I am a legal intern at Lexis at a company. So, today for my topic is a doctrine of ultravirus. So, doctrine of ultravirus plays a very important role in every company. It is important. So, before start our doctrine of ultravirus, we have to discuss what is MOA. It is very important to understand what is MOA. So let's start. MOA is a memorandum association. Memorandum association of a company is a basic character of a company. It is a binding document which describes the scope of the company among other things. Okay, if a company departs from a MOA, which is a memorandum association, such an act should be considered as a ultravirus. So let us further understand what is doctrine of ultravirus. So let's start. Doctrine of ultravirus is a fundamental rule of a company law. It states the objectives of the company as specified in its MOA. Can be departed from only to extend permissions of the act. Hence, if a company does an act or enter into any of the contract beyond the power of the directors or a company itself, that is said an contract is void and null and void, and no legally foundation of any company with another person. Okay, so the term ultravirus basic means beyond the power. If any person of a company do anything beyond the power of the company which is written in the MOA, it should be considered as an ultravirus. It is applicable only to an act performed in the express or legal powers of the doors. Since the doctrine of ultravirus limits the company to the object specified in the memorandum, the company can be restrained from using the funds for the purpose other than those specified in the memorandum. Second one is restraining from carrying on trade different from the authorities. These companies cannot sue on an ultravirus transactions. Further, it cannot be said used to. If a company supplies of goods and services or lends some money on an ultravirus contract, then it cannot obtain a payment or recover the loan. Okay. If a lender loans money to a company which has not extended yet, it cannot stop the company from parting the ultravirus. Sometimes an act which is ultravirus can be regularized by a shareholders of the company. So let us discuss this point with an example. If an act is a ultravirus, the power of if an act is ultravirus, the power beyond the power of the director, then the shareholder can rectify it. If an act is ultravirus, the article of the company, that a company can alter via article. So let us the doctrine of ultravirus with a very famous case law, which Hasbury Railway Carriage and Iron Company versus Ritchie. So in this case, whenever a director of a company enter into a contract with the Ritchie to provide a finance to a company for the construction of a railway line. So however, the director later repudiated the contract on the ground of the ultravirus of the MOA, which is a memorandum of association. The House Lord held that the contract at the time of making it was a void ab initio or null and void and invalid, and it cannot be rectified at a later state Hence, it should be considered, this contract should be considered as a ultra virus. So let us conclude with this topic. It observes that the ultra virus plays a very crucial role in administration of the constitutional laws of the country. Its act as a control mechanism with the subordinate authorities goes beyond the limit of its power, or with is a confidence with the parent act. Due to a malafide or improper intention, a person tries to cross its limit and corrupts the power conferred upon him. With the help of judicial review and a control, the basic features of the constitutions are protected. So thank you so much for watching my video on this topic. If you have any doubt related to any concerns and any topics, please feel free to comment on a comment box. Okay, thank you so much and a goodbye. Good luck.